Guys, in this video I'm going to tour you around Bayawan, Negros. I'm going to tell you why I think it's a great alternative to Dumaguete. A better boardwalk, nicer beaches, more nature, cleaner, friendlier, quieter. Stay tuned. So Bayawan City, it is about 2 hours from Dumaguete. I heard about this from my friends. You can see it here on the map. So I decided to go ahead and take a drive up there. I heard there was a nice boardwalk. So I went up there and wow, really blown away. It was really just a nice city. It's very quiet, clean. The boulevard is extremely long. I believe it's around 2 kilometers long. Now it's not loaded with all kinds of things like in Dumaguete, like just tons of restaurants. There are a lot of street food. There are some restaurants, and it's right on the beach, so you can actually walk on the beach. You can see the boats. You can see the boulevard here in the pictures. It's just very clean, very long, really enjoyable. So let's go ahead and continue and check out a little bit more of Bayawan. A great thing about Bayawan is that there's not really any other foreigners. The only other foreigners that I did see there were ones who were actually visiting girls. In other words, they probably had chatted a girl from Bayawan and then just went specifically there to meet her. I don't know if I saw any that actually lived there. I wasn't there that long. But another thing about the boardwalk is it's just peaceful, it's quiet. It would be great if you're looking for daily exercise, walking, jogging, just enjoying the night and the cool breeze along the ocean. Fantastic. There is some good street food, and like I said, there are some restaurants that weren't bad. I ate at one of them, and yeah, it's just a nice place overall. Really quiet. If you're looking to get stares and looks and second glances from girls, this is the place to do it. Bayawan does have a couple of shopping malls. One's called Pure Gold. It's fairly new. It looks to be of decent size. I didn't get a chance to go in it. There's another one that's also of decent size, a little bit older. Now the cool thing is directly across from this shopping mall is a little park that kind of welcomes you into Bayawan, and you can see here. Now in the background there's a nice little display of a water fountain set to lights and music. There was not a lot of people there, and this was on a weekend, so it's always very quiet in Bayawan. It's just a nice place to probably live a very quiet life. Now, if you are somebody who's looking for nightlife, then Bayawan is not for you whatsoever. But if you want to settle down with a nice girl, and there are some beautiful girls in Bayawan, then this is a fantastic place. Also, if you're looking for nature, Bayawan has it. There are so many waterfalls, caves, and just great places to go swimming with beaches. Bayawan is a fantastic choice for that, but for nightlife, no. There are not a lot of hotels and resorts in Bayawan. The one that I stayed at and I highly recommend is Hotel Mayfin. It's a pretty decent hotel. I would rate it about a 3-star. I don't think there are anything other than 3-star hotels in Bayawan City. But this was quite comfortable, reasonably priced. I think it ran 1,700 pesos per night. That was for the deluxe room, and that came with breakfast, and that was for 2. So you can see the restaurant here is quite nice. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. They do a lot of cakes. That's their specialty. They cater to birthdays and weddings and things like that. So they're quite good at making desserts. So check out their cakes while you're there. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Bayawan City has tons of outdoor activities with beaches, waterfalls, cave systems. Now, I had shot so much footage that I can't possibly fit it all into one video, so I'm just going to give you kind of a sneak peek, and then I'm going to finish up the waterfalls, caves, and adventures that I had in a second video, but I'll give you a quick little peek while we're talking here. Now, most of these waterfalls were advertised, but however, when it came time to find them, there was no signs. It was really kind of a wild goose chase. It would get us to the general location, the Google Maps, and then after that there were no signs. We had to stop and ask locals several times, and they would point to some unmarked little dirt road, and from there it was just kind of like a little mom and pop setup, and nobody to show you in or anything, and you're just kind of left on your own to hike through the jungle and find this waterfall. So we ended up at one point we hired a kid who was, I think, around 7 or 8 years old, gave him a few hundred pesos. Another time we hired a 60-year-old man who took us all the way through the jungle, who was in unbelievably good shape, and got us to the waterfall. And so it was just a lot of fun, getting to interact with the locals and just seeing this beauty that most foreigners never get to see. Now, I will say that a lot of these places are not for someone who's not in good shape and quite healthy. You have to be able to hike through the jungle and do a little bit of climbing in some of these, as you will see. So I'm going to show you a bit of this footage here, going to the 4-level cave system with waterfalls and where you could swim. This was the first location. It was about 30 minutes from Bayawan City. I'll flash up the name here, and I'll wrap it up at the end of my overall impressions of Bayawan City. Okay, everyone, so my overall impressions of Bayawan City. Number one, it is a small city. If you're looking for nightlife, there is not a lot going on. If you want to find Western style food, restaurants, things like that, you're not going to find it. Western style accommodations, condos, things like that, you're not going to find it. However, if you are looking for a nice, quiet, simple life, you could find a nice house here. You could find a decent apartment here for rent, and probably the cost is going to be anywhere from 8,000 to 15,000 pesos, which would be around 200 to 300 US dollars. Now, you could certainly get your own food at the grocery store and cook pretty much whatever you'd like here with Western style cooking at home. Restaurants, you're going to have to stick mainly to Filipino. There are a few different varieties of restaurants. I think there's a Korean restaurant. I think I saw a few fast food places like a McDonald's and a Jollibee. Again, if you're looking for a quiet, clean, very friendly, a lot of beautiful women, then this is the place for you. If you love nature and quiet walks on the boardwalk under the stars and a lot of food stalls and street food, then this place is fantastic. Beaches, waterfalls, caves. I mean, there are just loads of things to do for the outdoor type of person. So this is going to appeal to two different people. One, some people are going to say no, absolutely not. It's a great place to visit for a weekend. Other people are going to say this is a perfect home for me and for me to stay for the rest of my years. For me personally, it is not quite what I'm looking for. On an overall scale of 1 to 5, I give it a 3.75, only because it lacks some Western amenities. And granted, if it had those Western amenities, there's probably going to be a lot of expats there. So, take it with a grain of salt. But overall, I really did enjoy it. I will be back. There are just a ton more of waterfalls and caves, and I want to check out some beaches. So there's a lot more to see and do in this region, and I will be back. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Again, make sure you have travel insurance and medical insurance. You can find that down in the description. Now, some of these hikes were kind of treacherous at times. An accident could have easily happened, and certainly felt a lot better knowing that I had some travel and medical insurance. So guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for part 2 as I show you more waterfalls and adventures. See ya.